The movie starts with the newly elected governor of Tokyo talking to the people. He promises to get rid of crime and drug dealing, which have become big problems in the city. He also talks about his concerns regarding more people coming to Tokyo from other countries and causing trouble. The governor wants to make new immigration laws and is willing to send back those who cause problems. After finishing his speech and going towards his car, someone shoots the governor without warning. It seems like there are people who really don't like the governor's plans and planned to kill him on purpose. At lunchtime, the story focuses on a guy named Kuroda, who is an important person in the criminal underworld called the Yakuza. Kuroda belongs to a group called B-Class Yakuza, which represents the new generation of the organization. When Kuroda goes into his headquarters, he finds out that one of his guys is the one who killed the governor. It becomes clear that Kuroda arranged the governor's murder. As soon as Kuroda realizes this, he quickly gathers his gang to celebrate their successful elimination of the governor. Meanwhile, there's another group in Tokyo led by a man named Chen. Chen's group consists of the oldest residents of the city, and they promise to be loyal to Chen. We find out that Chen's group has been working together with Kuroda's Yakuza faction for many years, especially in the drug trade, mainly targeting America. Surprisingly, Chen's group was also involved in the attack on the governor. One of Chen's guys took part in the assassination. At the same time, both Chen and Kuroda make sure that their own members who were involved in killing the governor keep quiet. They do this to get rid of witnesses and stop the police from accusing Chen and Kuroda of the crime. A few days later, everyone in the country hears about the governor being killed, and even the American CIA in Japan pays attention to it. The boss of the CIA contacts his best agents for an important meeting. Before long, Travis, the top CIA member, shows up with his partner, Agent Mac. The boss tells them that they've been chosen to handle the governor's case, secretly because they suspect the Yakuza's involvement. Some Yakuza groups have been smuggling drugs to America, and that lines up with Kuroda and Chen's focus on sending narcotics to the United States. The story goes back to Travis and Agent Mac, who are told by their boss to investigate the governor's shooting. When they reach the crime scene, Travis carefully looks at the evidence. He studies the CCTV footage and figures out that the attackers were a Yakuza group working together with Chinese gangsters. Travis comes to this conclusion by noticing the Yakuza tattoos on one of the attackers and the special necklace that Chinese gangsters usually wear. After discovering this, Travis goes to Tokyo's Chinese village. He wants to meet an old Chinese immigrant who knows important information. Travis straightforwardly tells the old man about the collaboration between the Chinese gangsters and the Yakuza. He asks the old man to advise them against causing more trouble, stressing the possible consequences for other immigrants. Grateful for the reminder, the old man agrees to talk to the groups and try to convince them. During their conversation, Mei Ling, the old man's daughter, appears. Mei Ling is happy to see Travis after a long time of being apart. Little does the CIA know, Mei Ling used to be Travis's student and has become skilled in martial arts, just like her mentor. After meeting Mei Ling's father, Travis decides to introduce Agent Mac to the senior leaders of the Yakuza, the respected veterans of the organization. When they arrive, the senior Yakuza leader and his colleagues warmly welcome them. Travis asks if the governor's death is connected to the senior Yakuza. The chairman quickly explains that their group is not allowed to get involved in Japanese politics or government matters. So, the senior Yakuza leaders have no knowledge of the incident. However, the chairman speculates that the case might involve the Class B Yakuza group, which represents the new generation. He expresses his frustration and promises to help Travis solve the mystery. It becomes clear that the senior Yakuza leaders are unhappy with the actions of the new generation of Yakuza. The reckless behavior of the younger members damages the reputation of the Yakuza as a whole, which worries the chairman a lot. The senior Yakuza leaders hold Travis in high regard because of his past contributions to their group. Meanwhile, the CIA boss contacts a female agent named Agnes and tells her to keep a close eye on Travis, which might indicate a sense of mistrust or the need for surveillance. Back to Travis and Agent Mac, they go to meet Travis's girlfriend, Nayako. Travis asks Agent Mac to wait outside while he goes in. Nayako used to be a member of the Yakuza, but now works for the government. She is Travis's girlfriend. Travis asks Nayako if she knows anything about the new generation of Yakuza. Nayako says she knows someone who might have the information they need, a tattoo artist. After their talk, Travis and Nayako take a relaxing walk in the park and spend quality time together. During their stroll, Nayako tells Travis that she wants to live in America with him once the case is solved. Travis promises to take Nayako away after everything is settled. Their love for each other becomes clear, leading them to find a secluded spot where they share a passionate moment. The next day, Travis and Agent Mac begin their search for the tattoo artist. While walking, Travis accidentally bumps into a tough guy. Travis quickly says sorry, and he and Agent Mac decide to take a break in a nearby store. Little do they know, the tough guy gathers his friends and plans to attack Travis. Even though Travis doesn't want to fight, the thugs keep being aggressive. Eventually, Travis defends himself and easily overpowers the thugs. The police show up, and Travis tells Agent Mac to handle the situation. Without Travis knowing, Agnes watches his actions from a distance. Finally, Travis meets the tattoo artist and introduces himself as Nayako's boyfriend. Interestingly, the tattoo artist is Nayako's best friend. Travis asks about the new generation of Yakuza he's investigating. The tattoo artist says that the troublemakers are the Kuroda and Kojima Yakuza groups. The artist strongly believes that one of these two groups is responsible for the governor's murder. Kuroda and Kojima have a long history of conflicts and disagreements, never seeing eye to eye. Travis decides to visit Kojima's group first, with Agnes secretly keeping an eye on him from afar. When Travis questions Kojima about the governor's death, he denies any involvement. However, some of his men have told him that Kuroda's group might be connected to the assassination. Considering the intense rivalry between Kojima's and Kuroda's factions, Kojima willingly offers to help Travis with the investigation. Meanwhile, Kuroda is talking to Chen, the leader of a Chinese gang. Shortly after, one of Kuroda's men arrives and reveals that he was the guy Travis defeated earlier that day. The man shares all the details of their encounter, which makes Kuroda demand an apology by cutting off one of the man's fingers. In a cruel act, Kuroda heartlessly kills him. The next day, Kuroda receives a threatening letter from their rivals, the Kojima group. Even though he reads the threat, Kuroda doesn't seem bothered and brushes it off. However, he quickly orders his men to retaliate against the Kojima group. Meanwhile, the elderly Chinese immigrant visits Chen and urges him to stop working with Kuroda's group. The old man explains that a relentless CIA member named Travis is targeting Kuroda's group. He emphasizes Travis's ruthlessness and advises Chen and other immigrants to stay away from him. Despite the warning, Chen ignores the advice and contacts Kuroda, informing him about Travis's surveillance. Kuroda remains unfazed, recognizing Travis's reputation even among the respected old Yakuza leaders. During the night, Kuroda's men start a series of targeted killings against members of the Kojima group. At the same time, Travis and his girlfriend, Nayako, are approached by Agent Mac. Agent Mac tells them that he has found the location where Kuroda's drugs are being made. Travis instructs Agent Mac to gather evidence by secretly taking remote photographs. Before parting ways, Travis warns Agent Mac to be careful when working without him. The next day, Agent Mac starts monitoring Kuroda's warehouse from a distance. Driven by curiosity, he becomes determined to enter the premises secretly. Once inside, he discovers incriminating files and evidence of Kuroda's criminal activities. Unfortunately, two of Kuroda's men unexpectedly enter the warehouse and catch Agent Mac. In a tense moment, Agent Mac manages to hold them at gunpoint and escapes. Later that night, as Agent Mac relaxes and waits for Travis to arrive, he is suddenly confronted by Kuroda's men. They forcefully take him and bring him to their hideout, where Chen, the leader of the Chinese gangsters, is also present. Without hesitation, they torture Agent Mac before ultimately killing him. Meanwhile, Kojima seeks help from the senior Yakuza bosses, explaining the many casualties caused by Kuroda's group. Kojima reveals that Kuroda's faction works with the Chinese gangsters in drug trafficking and was responsible for the governor of Tokyo's assassination. The tarnishing of the Yakuza's reputation by Kuroda's actions leads the senior Yakuza officials to give Kojima permission to retaliate against both Kuroda's group and the Chinese gangsters. The next day, a furious Travis goes alone to Kuroda's hideout after hearing about Agent Mac's death. When he arrives, he quickly takes out all of Kuroda's men in a fit of anger. 3 hours later, some of Kuroda's remaining men show up and are shocked by the chaotic scene. Strangely, the bodies of the men Travis killed earlier have disappeared. At the same time, Kojima's men launch a counterattack and kill a group of Kuroda's men on the roadside. The following day, Kuroda goes to Chen's group and suggests joining forces to get back at Kojima's faction. Kuroda's and Chen's followers start hunting down members of Kojima's group and systematically get rid of them. Eventually, most of Kojima's members are wiped out. Sadly, Nayako becomes a target and falls victim to their attacks. Devastated by Nayako's death, Travis confronts Mai Ling. He wants information about the headquarters of Chen's Chinese gangsters because he suspects their involvement. Mai Ling helps Travis and leads him to Chen's group's headquarters. Without hesitation, Travis ruthlessly kills each member until none are left. After that, Travis and Mai Ling search for the tattoo artist. Travis tells him about Nayako being murdered by both the Chinese gangsters and Kuroda's group. The tattoo artist, filled with rage over the loss of his sister, promises to help. He reveals Kuroda's previous hideout, fueled by a desire for revenge. Under the cover of night, Travis, Mai Ling, and the tattoo artist sneak into Kuroda's hideout. The three of them engage in intense combat, showing their mastery with their weapons. The battles with the Kataka blades are fierce and relentless. During a confrontation, the tattoo artist challenges Kuroda to a sword duel, but is shot before they can start. Kuroda comments that the artist got lucky, since there was only one bullet in the gun. Just then, Travis arrives, and a fierce battle erupts between him and Kuroda, both wielding katanas. Fueled by deep resentment, Travis relentlessly pushes forward, determined to corner Kuroda. In the end, Travis manages to defeat Kuroda quite easily. Meanwhile, Mai Ling successfully takes down the remaining members of Kuroda's group. The next day, Travis, Mai Ling, and the tattoo artist attend Nayako's funeral, paying their respects to her memory. Unknown to them, Agnes, who has been secretly following Travis all this time, discreetly gets rid of the bodies of Kuroda's victims. This covert action aims to keep Travis's mission a secret, ensuring that the Japanese police remain unaware and maintaining the positive relationship between the American and Japanese governments. In another place, the older Yakuza leaders decide to closely watch the activities of the new generation Yakuza groups, determined to protect the esteemed reputation of the Yakuza. Weeks later, the CIA receives news that the flow of drugs from Japan to America has stopped. This indicates the success of Travis's mission, aligning with the plan that was set in motion. The moral lesson of the story is always double-check if there's more than one bullet in the gun before challenging someone to a sword duel.